Call all y'all about Shin Show. In this video, I want to talk about are nukes biblical. I've seen some stuff online. People was posting different comments saying, "Oh, nukes is not biblical. This was not biblical." And I talked about it in different videos too before, but I'm gonna just bring out some stuff that's been happening in the media lately. Now, you have the scripture that says you should hear wars and rumors of wars. In the book of Mark, that's what I'm gonna go to. It says in the book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 7. It says, and when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end shall not be. And it ain't coming yet, but it's on its way, though, I should say. I won't say it's not coming, it's not here yet, but it's on its way. Now you go on some more. In verse 8 it says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginning of sorrows. And if you've been watching the news lately, that's how you've been hearing about earthquakes hitting over in California. The earthquake hitting down there by Cuba and Jamaica and shaking up Miami, downtown Miami. Nation rising against nation. And nation rising against nation. Here goes some stuff in the news right here. There's another video posted online. Let me see if I can find it real quick. There'll be so much coming out, man. I try to save it for later so I can just go back to it when I make a lesson. Here you go right here. Let me just play it for a minute. Maybe this ad. Get done with this follow.
The US Defense Secretary Mark Esper has taken part in a classified exercise to determine how Washington would respond to a Russian nuclear attack in Europe, according to officials.
Hey, once again, as the scripture say, for a nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Russia is a nation and the U.S. is a nation.
The scenario includes a European contingency, where you are conducting a war with Russia, and Russia decides to use a low-yield, limited nuclear weapon against a site on NATO territory. And then you go through the conversation that you would have with the Secretary of Defense, and then with the President, ultimately to decide how to respond. We simulated responding with a nuclear weapon.
The exercises come as the US seeks to upgrade its nuclear capabilities. Earlier this month, the Department of Defense requested a military budget of over $740 billion for 2021. It said it wants an additional $4 billion for nuclear weapons spending. That's a 19% increase on the current budget. Russia's condemned what it says amounts to Washington's undermining of global stability.
We condemn such actions because, firstly, they clearly demonstrate Washington's readiness to follow the path of confrontation and further lower the threshold for using nuclear weapons. Instead of focusing on efforts to strengthen the arms control system, including the nuclear system, the United States is playing an extremely dangerous game.
Hey, and that's because Yahweh Shin Shah putting the spirit on these Edomites to do the stuff that they do. Back again, once again, in the book of Revelation. We'll talk about the fraud-like spirits. Go to that real quick. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 13. It says, and I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs coming out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. You read on the verse 14. It says, for they are the spirits of devils working miracles which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world to gather them to the battle of that great day of Yahweh Almighty. And hey, that's what's going on right here, man. If you can see it, you meant to see it. If you can't see it, you just ain't meant to see it. But this is biblical prophecy playing out right here. And this book ain't written by no so-called white man either. It's just that they're gonna put all their stuff in here. Especially if it's talking about them getting wiped out and wiping each other out. Now, back to the main point though about nuclear weapons being biblical. This scripture right here, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, verse 20. It says the earth shall roll to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy on it, and it shall fall and not rise again. And that's what's gonna happen, man. Only thing that's gonna cause these big super quakes like that is them shooting these nukes off and them touching down. And they actually test them out in certain regions of the world, and it'll be like, oh, it's an earthquake in the mountains of Russia or somewhere. Sometimes it don't even be right on Russia, it'll be like near Alaska or somewhere. That's where they test a lot of that stuff out. They got bases over there. Earthquakes over in Korea. Different regions that normally earthquakes wouldn't hit because they test them out either in the ocean or they test them out in the actual land, under land, I should say. So when they actually hit the land and they hit some of these plates and do what they do, that's what's gonna cause the earth to roll to and fro like a drunkard. And then it says for 1 hour. For 1 hour, great riches is coming to naught. Because it's going to start over there and it's going to come over here for the last hoorah, like they say in the military. But it says in the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 17, for in 1 hour, so great riches has come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off. And for the people to be like, oh, it ain't nothing going to happen to this place, God bless America and all this stuff. No, God, also known as Yahweh, He going to wipe this place out. All the stuff that go on over here in America, people think this stuff just going to go on. We got people talking about the year 2054 and little silly shit like that, man. Like, no, ain't going to be no 2054. Especially at the rate this stuff moving. You can see it clear, man. And the more days go by, I ain't gonna play this video too much longer. You know, you see this. Just go on Archie News and just look at this video right here with the little exercise they had on it. I mean, you ain't gonna be able to counterattack these nukes, especially if they coming up from outer space, because they got them on satellites too. But they don't came up with some little exercise. Esau being proud, thinking they finna counterattack this stuff, man. But it's not going down like that. And I seen another video too. I want to go in after I play this. There's more on the nations rising against nations. They say Syrian air defenses in Damascus brought down several hostile targets coming from the direction of the occupied Golan Heights. The Israeli military launched a series of raids against terrorist targets belonging to Islamic Jihad in Syria and throughout Gaza. IDL spokesperson Avike Adri, I might be pronouncing that wrong. Now, but see, this is what they're doing. They talking about terrorists and all this stuff, but who funded them? Who set up the money for them to get the money that they get and the weaponry that they get? Like I brought in that recent video, man. So them saying they going after terrorists, they actually just created them so they can have reasons to target these different regions. I ain't gonna make this too much longer. I just want to end this off with this. And this right here, this is gonna be marvelous, just like the scripture said. The song of Moses and the Lamb. Let me go to the actual full screen so I can read it like that. Now you got this one video. It's talking about them seeing the chariot. This one guy be posting these different little videos, and that ain't what's in them ships. Just so you know, 'cause that's what they like to put out and promote, but that's not what's in the ships.
Today, February 21st, and this is literally uploaded everywhere already. I'm a little slow on the uptake. My real job comes first. But if you haven't seen it, you're in for a treat. I believe that this was first noticed and uploaded by Scott C. Waring's YouTube channel ET Database. The live ISS camera literally had eyes on this thing for 22 minutes straight without any cuts to the feed, like NASA normally would if there was anything obscure that was picked up on camera. But NASA lets this thing fly in front of the space station for 22 minutes straight for the whole world to see before seemingly rising upwards into outer space. Here's a quick zoom in of the object. This is definitely not space junk in my opinion. It kind of begs the question, is this alien in nature or part of...
You can see the color shifting a little bit on there, and that's how you see, like, if you ever go outside and you look up, because now these times, the more we get closer to that final event, you're gonna see more of these ships appearing. And if you look up in the air, if it ain't no chemtrails or the weather is clear, you can see a lot of these ships, man. They sometimes just be sitting there. You might see them moving. If it's ultimately if it's meant for you to really see them. There's other icons, they see them, man. They look up, see them, lights blinking, different shapes, sizes. Some of them be cloaked in the cloud. It just so happened NASA been having a feed going and people been catching it. And normally they'll cut the feed off though once they show something like this, but the information is out now, so you can't deny it. They spend all this money tracking this, and this the view that the elect gonna have once they get delivered from this judgment that's gonna happen on this earth. Because like I tell certain people I meet, they always be like, "Oh, everybody gotta die someday." No, everybody don't gotta die someday. Because once this go down, it's gonna be people that saved from this. They gonna have people they gonna scoff, talk shit. They don't believe this. They're the ones they not making it out of this. You know, it says in the book of Revelation, chapter 15. I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, "And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of God, or the wrath of Yahweh." Now in verse 2 it says, "And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark." And the main thing is that mark, that RFID chip, that radio frequency identification device. That's the mark. And it says, "Over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having harps of Yahweh." And they sang the song of Moses, of Mashah. They say the servant of Yahweh, and the song of the Lamb, Yahweh Shah, which is the Lamb. It says, "Saying, great and marvelous are thy works, Lord Almighty." It says, "Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. Who should not fear thee, O Yahweh, and glorify thy name?" Because you got to know the name. You can't call them what you want to call them. If you go somewhere and somebody call you your name Jacob, and you go somewhere and they call you Daniel or something like that, you know, who you talking to? Hey, what more the Most High? You got to know his name. It says, "And glorify thy name, for thou only art holy. For all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest." And that's what you see going out through the earth. Now you have people seeing events happen, they thinking there's just some Mother Nature or just random events and stuff like that. No, that's Yahweh Bashem Yahushua behind all this. You know, reading on it in verse 5, it says, "And after that I looked, and behold, the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven was open, and the 7 angels came out of the temple having 7 plagues, clothed in pure and white linen, and having their breasts girded with golden girdles. And one of the 4 beasts gave unto them 7 golden vials, full of the wrath of Yahweh, who lived forever and ever. And the temple was filled with smoke from the glory of Yahweh and from his power, and no man was able to enter into the temple till the 7 plagues of the 7 angels were fulfilled." And the main point of this, though, is the elect gonna be able to stand over this earth, sit in one of them ships. I'm quite sure it's gonna be way bigger than that, and be able to look down and see this judgment upon this earth. And you're gonna have got the astronauts up in this space station. You're gonna have the elites. They're gonna be up there too, but they're gonna get pulled down though. They're gonna escape just so they can go into captivity. That's why they're escaping. They gotta be the first ones. They the ones that's been helping cause all this stuff on the earth, setting up PSY operations, creating disease centers. It ain't just the CDC, it's other disease centers too. That's just like the main one that people know about. They got all type of damn laboratories and shit. Having child sex rings and organ harvesting rings and stuff like that. Still doing modern slavery. Unlawful taxes. Unlawful laws. All this different stuff, man. They gotta pay for all that. So, their judgment coming, man. Y'all can just be patient, stay alert, watching the news. Yeah, some people they might be impatient and think, oh, it's taking too long and all that. No, this stuff moving quick, man. We already about to be in March. We got a Passat coming up. I'm quite sure some more heavy stuff gonna be happening. So just stay alert, man. Lord's willing, this was edifying. Call all y'all about Shalom to the light.